Today's topic is 10 things you didn't know. Together, we will learn how a chicken managed to survive its beheading a whopping 17 months after its initial cut, and how none other than the 41st President of the United States, George H.W. Bush, was actually the sole survivor of a plane crash. Stick around for our top 3 because that's where things get really scary. But anyways, here's our number 10. Crows can hold a grudge. Many people dismiss the intellect of crows as nothing special, but in reality, crows are amongst some of the most intelligent animals to have ever existed on our planet. They are actually so smart that they can actually remember people's faces, which is why they have so many cases of people being hunted down and even chased back by crows that they had attacked or threw things at in the past. There's no telling how far the memories of these animals extend to, with some instances even detailing how a crow can easily remember a human's face years after that human attacked it. So needless to say, don't attack any animals out there, especially not crows, because that sharp pecker can easily find its way right into your face, if you're not careful. Number 9. Horned lizards squirt blood at you from their eyes. As shocking as this may be, this is their main defense against any predators that might see them as a four-legged buffet. The moment they identify their hunters, their eyes go scarlet, and with less than a couple of seconds, the lizards are ready to attack anyone that dare approach them. This defense mechanism is not only effective in disgusting the lizard's predators, but also to blind them, as they are known for aiming straight for the eyes whenever they can. They can shoot their blood up to 5 feet from their eyes, and in doing so, they can easily take down predators twice their size, allowing for their escape. Number 8. The Paku fish has human teeth. Whenever we as a species see anything that remotely resembles humans, we always tend to be creeped out. But you'd be surprised just how often this happens in the wild. Take for example the strange Paku fish, and its even stranger dental work. Essentially, these are fish that have human-like teeth, and the resemblance is literally uncanny. What's even creepier about this fish is that when spotted in the wild, it can literally smile at you as you pull them out of the water. No doubt that this has left a lot of fishermen traumatized, and who can blame them really? Number 7. The Rat King Incidents. The following picture might look like a horrifying mutilation, but we can assure you that no human had any hand in the creation of this macabre imagery. In fact, this was all done by the rats themselves, as they accidentally got their tails tied to one another and eventually became unable to untangle anymore. This was also a result in the fact that they live inside of places filled to the brim with feces, dirt, blood, and more disgustingness, which tends to be really sticky. Although quite rare, when discovered, these Rat King incidences end up involving literally more than a dozen rats all tied together by their tails. Number 6. A TikTok star killed her mother. Isabella Guzman committed the unthinkable act of stabbing her mother 151 times in the face and torso. She claims she had temporarily lost her mind in the time. And recently she even asked that she is released into the world yet again because she learned her lesson. Taking another life is a horrible act, one that shouldn't even cross anyone's mind at any time whatsoever. But the fact that she ended up stabbing her mother over 150 times definitely shows that whatever was going on inside of her mind, she was not all there. And chances are she hasn't miraculously come to her senses after such a horrifying incident. Number 5. A chicken survived 17 months without its head. Mike, the headless chicken, is by far one of the most interesting cases ever recorded, simply because it goes against everything that we've been taught growing up. We have been told many times that once beheaded, it's game over. And yet, here we have an example of a chicken that had a massive bulk of its head removed, and yet still lived to tell the tale. Although spookier than anything else we've seen in our lives, the chicken was only really able to survive the incident because its jugular vein was completely missed, which resulted in an extra 17 months of eating and enjoying life. Number 4. 20% of children hear voices every year. It might seem like a literal cliche by now, with just how many children in horror movies report hearing strange noises and voices in the dead of night, but there is a reason as to why this is such a popular movie trope. The reason behind this is the fact that it actually does happen quite a lot in real life, with a whopping 20% of all children having reported hearing voices in the dark, never seeing who was talking in the first place. This is quite scary, although could it be used as proof to indicate that ghosts are real? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Number 3. The peak of Mount Everest is full of dead bodies. It is said that the peak of Mount Everest is home to well over 200 dead bodies by now, that belong to all the adventurers that gave their lives to try and climb all the way up to the top of the mountain. The reason as to why no one has been able to retrieve their bodies is because of how precarious the climb really is. There have been talks about making the people that choose to climb the mountain sign a waiver, which makes them accept the fact that their loved ones will never see them again if something goes wrong. Number 2. Your cat will eat you if you die. You might be looking at your ferocious little fur baby and think that they love you more than anything in the world. And to some extent, you'd be right. Cats can actually grow attached to their owners quite a lot, especially if they get pampered on the daily. But since cats are animals and they do like to drink blood and eat meat, if you do happen to keel over and hit your head over the counter, your cat will not hesitate to eat you alive. Many cat owners argue against this, but have you ever seen a hungry cat? They will literally bite your fingers to get to their food. So don't hold it against them if they're willing to eat you if they're in starvation mode. Number 1. George Bush was the sole survivor of a plane crash. What later on became known as the Ogasawara incident was in fact one of the most shocking experiences that any man had ever had the displeasure of going through. It all happened in World War II, around 1944, when a team of 9 airmen managed to escape a plane crash nearly unscathed, only to be captured, beheaded, and then eaten up by the Japanese officers that came upon them. The sole survivor of this crash and cannibalism act was none other than the future 41st president, George Bush himself. Wow, those are some scary and shocking facts. Which was the scariest for you? Share your own scary experience in the comments section below. And be sure to click on the recommended videos on the left and right of the screen if you want to binge watch some more of our amazing content. See ya!